Sounding the alarm on America's boys. A new report on schools in America today shows boys are falling further behind girls in their ability to read, while girls are still making big strides in math. So what will help boys learn? How can they catch up? Ron Claiborne has been poring over the report.
Today's report is very good news for girls, but it describes what amounts to a crisis for the nation's boys.
There's a consistent pattern here that says the boys are not learning how to read as well as girls.
The findings by the Center for Educational Policy show a consistent pattern. In every state in the country, at every grade level studied, girls did better in reading than boys. In some states, the gender gap was staggering. In Virginia, middle school girls did better than boys in reading by 15 percentage points. In New Hampshire, also 15 points. In New York State, girls were 13 points ahead of boys. At the Ronald McNair High School in Jersey City, New Jersey, English teacher Don Dello says he sees the difference.
In an English classroom, there's always been a tendency for the girls to be more interested in the literature than the boys.
They just have a lot more focus, and I think they tend to spend a lot more time devoted to reading. I mean, guys are more into sports and being outside.
So when we calculate
even in math, a subject in which boys traditionally have done better than girls, girls are now roughly even with boys nationwide. Why the difference between the sexes? In reading, one theory points to differences between the brains of boys and girls. Girls' brains are more verbally oriented, which makes reading skills easier for them to acquire. Boys' brains are more visually stimulated. Another theory is that boys are more physically restless than girls. Recess time has been cut in some schools in the push for better achievement test scores.
They can read, but they need to be moving around, many of them, or they need to be doodling. They need to be doing something that's activating their brains.
And boys aren't just dropping behind in reading. They drop out of school at a higher rate than girls. Alarming trends for American boys. And how have girls caught up? What's the difference now than 30 or 40 years ago when they lagged in math and were roughly the same as boys in reading? Some experts say a key difference is the women's movement. Many girls study harder because they have career opportunities and expectations, Diane, that didn't exist years ago.
And confidence in math.
Confidence.
Thanks, Ron.